Let's see Steve Kornacki with the khaki. Back at it again with the khaki pants. This is what I've been actually genuinely excited to watch this entire day because I'm a nerd. I want to hear what he has to say about Kamala's chances on the road to 270.
NBC's national political correspondent Steve Kornacki with us now and the big board. So let's look deeper into those polls, how Kamala Harris fares in a matchup against Trump.
Yeah, and the headline, Savannah, is right now at least not that much different. Take a look. This is an average of the 10 national polls that have come out since that debate last month. Yeah, Trump at 47, Harris at 46. If you ran this same average, Biden versus Trump, it was a 2-point Trump lead. So very, very slight improvement to start out. But obviously, that's something that's within the margin of error there. Democrats are really kind of starting in the same place.
And so what about the key groups? Does she perform better with particular groups? And does that open up a path or other states potentially?
And I thought this was interesting. In our own most recent NBC poll, here are some groups when you match Harris against Trump where she actually fares better than Biden did. Headline there is black voters, almost a 10-point difference there. Harris improvement. The left wing of the Democratic base, Sanders, Warren voters, and folks 35 to 49 years old. The flip side, though, is Trump improves in some areas with Harris in the race, at least according to our poll. Here you see Republican voters who aren't satisfied Trump's their nominee. Think Haley voters here, white males with college degrees. These two groups, I think, you tend to find in the suburbs. Suburbs have been a big place for Democrats to be growing lately. So you take a look at our road to 270. The 6 core battleground states are there in.
This is why I'm saying Democrats need to shift strategy immediately, because for the past 4 years under the Biden regime, they have shifted their strategy to the suburbs. When it's Kamala Harris, the suburb racists, they're going to be like, well, maybe Trump doesn't look too bad. What you have to do in that circumstance is go back to the constituencies that actually allow you to win elections. And in order to do that, in order to activate those bases, you can't go along with the same narrative on Gaza, and you can't go along with the same narrative on the border. This is why I've been saying what I've been saying. Okay? Is that sure from Bode? No.
Gray, those numbers I just showed you, well, if you're a Democrat and you see the number among black voters, you think maybe Georgia, maybe Harris could help you there. That's a state with a large black population. Trump's been running very well there in the polls. But again, the flip side is if Trump's posting improvements in the suburbs with Harris in the race, the suburbs around Atlanta, that could wipe it all out for
Arizona,
them. And Arizona,
young voters, suburbs around Phoenix potentially, because prior to this, the real path for Biden was those Rust Belt states. So potentially it opens up more battlegrounds.
And I think that's the thing. The reason why Biden had that path you're talking about in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania is the growth for Trump and the weakness for Biden has been non-white voters. So Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, with much more diverse populations than those Midwest states.
I have a feeling we'll be meeting here many times in the future. Steve, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Doesn't only focus on urban areas leave you weak in the House and state legislatures? There's still the Trump equation here. There's still the Trump issue here. Wish there was more on this coverage. Yeah. Oh, AP delegate survey has Kamala on the way to presumptive nominee by the end of the night, possibly. Yeah. Kamala Harris has already crossed the 50% threshold for all delegates needed. And she's even gone far beyond that, actually. She's at 1,500. She needs 1,900 for the nomination. She will most likely have it wrapped up by tonight, which is expected. I know we discussed this yesterday, but with Kamala's voting record, why aren't we more excited about that? Because Kamala Harris was a senator in California at a time when Donald Trump was president. So what a lot of green senators, especially, depending on how they want to present themselves, will make bold proclamations, will sometimes even take radical positions because they know it's never going to pass. That's why I didn't place a lot of emphasis on her track record when she was running against Bernie Sanders as well. Yeah, that's a classic thing that Democrats do. Very different dynamic, if you notice, when the Democrats have the majority in the Senate and the House, and also simultaneously the White House. If you recall, the politicking, the dynamic changes quite a bit, almost like they do a complete reversal on their prior ideological disposition. Having said that, however, it's still decent that she was trying to present herself as a progressive instead of not.